Hey, thanks for still sticking with us on Matchday Mic. We've got the legendary, Osayi wears number 9 here, but there's someone who has been wearing number 9 for Nigeria long before. I have the world famous, like I said, legendary before. What else can I use to classify her? The great, the goal poaching, what's failed me tonight? What's failed me tonight? I've got a player that you desire to have in your team. I have Desire Oparanozie joining us on the show tonight. Many thanks for joining us, legendary. I don't want the hype you they go, Mama.
It's okay,
it feels good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Thank you.
All right, I see that you are rocking the jersey of your girls. I mean, we won AFCON last year against Morocco. Our next opponent is going to be against Morocco. Whatever happens, we must come out victorious, isn't it?
Of course, we have to. We have to. This AFCON is a compensation for Nigerians, for missing out of the World Cup. So, for lack of a better word, the Super Eagles, they need to bring back this trophy at all costs. At all costs, they are meeting the host nation in their next semi-final game. It's going to be a very difficult game playing against the host nation. But then again, with what we've seen, we saw them display today, I think going into that game, it's more or less going to be a walk in the park if they, put up half of what we saw them do today against Algeria.
All right. Before we talk about tomorrow's game, the next game rather, next week against Morocco, let's come back home a bit. Algeria was supposed to be a tough opponent, just the same way a lot of people felt that Tunisia would be. But the Super Eagles steamrolled them. It's always a grudge game, because if you take a look at the fact that twice Algeria have won the African Cup of Nations, and twice en route to winning the Nations Cup, they defeated Nigeria. That's in 1990 and in 2019. What was your expectation for this match before we played?
Well, I knew Nigeria would come out on top because, like I said, winning. I think not talking about the first Nations Cup they won and eliminating Nigeria and all of that. The 2019 one, after that 2019 meeting, they've met again. Between that 2019 and 2020, they've met like 3 times, and Algeria have edged Nigeria with 1 goal margin in those previous 3 meetings to building up to this game, and it's expected that it's going to be a grudge match. Nigeria will not, fall behind again for the last time, which is this their last meeting, and is expected. I knew personally, I predicted 2-0 for Nigeria to win, and it turned out that Nigeria came out on top. I knew they would give everything to win, and also considering the fact that they want to win this trophy. So Algeria cannot be a stumbling block for them getting to win that trophy.
All right, who was the player that impressed you most tonight?
I think it's Bright Osayi. Bright was formidable in defense. He during attack, during transitioning, he was there in front, joining attack, putting more number up front, and even when we don't have the ball defensively, he was also there. He was very formidable. All those 1v1 challenges, I can't really remember anyone he didn't win. He won all the 1v1 battles, defending spectacularly well, and also operating from that left side, going all the way back and forth, defending and also joining attack. So he's my standout player today.
I've been watching you, listening to you talk about Brighton High Simon. For a moment, I thought you were talking about Kafu. All right, but he's got good coaching. He played under Jose Mourinho at some point, and now he's playing under a fantastic coach in Eric Chell. All right, for the tournament as a whole, who has been your best player for the tournament?
So far, I think it's between, for me, it's between Alex Iwobi and Lookman. Yeah, so it's a tight call between both players.
All right, I'm talking about Alex Iwobi. He's a player that has come out for gotten the sticks a lot in the past. You are a former footballer yourself. What does it feel for a player to be to be faulted and to be harassed even on social media, and then still want to play for your country and do so well?
I mean, regardless of how much you get criticized on social media, I mean, it's nothing compared to the pride you carry when you represent your country. So, and all of those criticism, what it does is actually fuel your passion, your hunger to actually do better when you wear the green and white color, you know. So those criticism, they are not in any way to make player. For me personally, while I was there, it doesn't like put me down in any way or anything like that. What it does is actually motivate you, you know, fuel you to actually give your best anytime you're called upon to actually represent the country. It's a thing of honor regardless of how much people criticize you.
All right, Mama, just to round up in a moment, CAF are proposing that the African Cup of Nations will now be held every 4 years as opposed to every 2 years that we're used to. I mean, you, even when we were playing in Europe, I mean, you were accustomed to always coming back home to play at AFCON every 2 years. Do you think it's a right move from CAF, or you think sticking with 2 years would have been better?
Well, I think it's the right move. It's the right move. I mean, if you look at other Nations Cup in South America, Asia, Europe, you know, it's a 4-year interval game, and I think having AFCON being played over a 4-year period, it's I mean, for me, it's a welcome development. Perhaps it will give it the much required respect in it for people to actually recognize the African Cup as one of the top tournaments around the world. And also, apart from playing it every 4 years, I also think it should be played during summer, you know, when other continents are also playing their own. So let's have that, you know, and also it will also help some of our players, some of the African players that play abroad, that play in Europe. It will also, you know, give them a balance, you know, to actually leave their team, because most teams that period during mid-year, that's when teams go on break. So if they can play it around that period and also give it a 4-year period, I think it's a welcoming development for me.
I mean, I remember that when Didier Drogba was to return to Chelsea, it was told that if he's going to come back to Chelsea, he wouldn't have to go for AFCON in 2015, and that was the year that Ivory Coast won the AFCON. He didn't get to win the AFCON, so that must have been a shame on a legendary player with that sort of status. Now we're through to the semi-finals. Let's get your prediction for the match against Morocco.
Well, I think Nigeria, it's going to be a very tough game. It will be a tough game that can go either way. I don't know, but it can go either way. I am not certain to tell you that Nigeria will win or Morocco will win, but it's going to be a tough game that can either go either way.
All right, many thanks for joining us on Matchday Mic. Give it up for Desire Oparanozie.
Thank you.